Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for One Piece Chapter 1014. When we last left our heroes, the promised Nami versus Ulti fight was kind of cut short by Big Mom coming in and just beating the crap out of Ulti for kicking Tama. And also, she combined the powers of Prometheus, Hera, and Napoleon to use his new super attack that kind of took out Ulti once and for all, seemingly. This is Onigashima, so who knows if anyone is ever really down, but for now it seems like both Ulti and Page One have been taken down by Big Mom. Zeus then arrives at the exact worst moment. Big Mom decides that she's done with him. Nami's still a little mad about him betraying her. And so she does not act quickly enough to save him from being devoured by Hera. So Zeus is kind of dead. And then we're almost teased a Nami Big Mom fight before that's interrupted by Captain Kidd's arrival. Seemingly shoving Nami to the side once and for all, which I'm not big on, but we'll see if she still gets some moment during Kidd versus Big Mom. But meanwhile, we cut back to the rooftop as Kaido is seemingly defeated Luffy once again and knocked him off the top of Onigashima towards the ocean down below. So let's jump right on into chapter 1014, The Ham. And our picture here is of Law, Trafalgar Law, puzzling over a riddle in front of a painted tiger screen. The riddle is capture the tiger on the screen, and the tiger maybe is meant to be like a Conjuro painting, how it's kind of coming to life there. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, we open outside Onigashima as Kaido is still kind of monologuing. So you infused yourself with the color of the Supreme King. And Luffy still falls. But your use of it was crude and clumsy. And as Luffy falls, he continues, Gum Gum, what was it again? Whoa, 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 whoa. You couldn't be Joy Boy either, it seems. Okay. A couple of things to note there. The stressed word either means that Kaido directly has someone else in mind. And I'm trying to rack my head if we know any specifics about Joy Boy, because I think he's just someone who had written a lot of history about the Void Century, and then all of that got kind of erased, and he left the One Piece, as Roger kind of reveals in the Odin flashback. But I don't, unless I'm missing something big, if I'm missing something big, I don't think we have a lot in the way of specifics about what being Joy Boy means. Like, maybe he's referring to Roger, as Roger had kind of reached the One Piece, learned all the world's secrets. But then the couldn't there would imply that Roger, if Roger is the other person in that either, implies that Roger also wasn't Joy Boy. So, either way, Kaido knows something, maybe even everything about the Void Century. That's what that line there kind of implies to me. Either way, just then, Kaido gets a phone call or a Den Den Mushi call. I can't really see the Den Den Mushi because Kaido is huge and the Den Den Mushi isn't. But either way, he picks up. Master Kaido, we have found Momonosuke. I'll be there at once. And Bao Huang? Yes, sir. Announce the results to all of Onigashima. And Bao Huang, who I think is the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, camera person in charge of the Marys. Surveillance person in charge of the Marys. I think that's who Bao Huang is. But let me see if I can do the quickest of wiki searches. Yes. The good news is a lot of these characters I've searched up before, and so I can just, like, type their names and the link to the wiki pops up. Anyway, third floor castle. I've spotted young Master Yamato. He's carrying Momonosuke. Oh, no he isn't. So Yamato's plan is working there, which means that Kaido has not found not found Momonosuke, and we might get Kaido versus Yamato next. Something's wrong, though. Oh, his cuffs are gone. And Yamato responds, "That's right. I am not your prisoner anymore. I am Odin." Huh? And Yamato just keeps on beating the shit out of all of them. None of them noticing the Momonosuke strapped to his waist is just not alive. We come back to the first floor crawl space. Oh, no, 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 no. Bao Huang has found Momonosuke because we see a frog watching Shinobu and Momo with the kind of paper of the Marys over its face. They've been caught. But they don't know that yet. And Momo says, "Shinobu? Yes?" And he's reading over Odin's diary. "It would seem that I truly must not die." "What do you mean? Of course you mustn't die." And then Momo all of a sudden freaks out and like jumps away or like slides away from the diary. "Ah, what is that? Who is it? Huh? What is it now?" Oh, no. I think he's hearing the voice of all things, right? Though what exactly is causing it, I don't quite know. But we come back to the performance floor. As Chopper is now, I think in Monster Point, suplexing Queen. Holy fucking shit. That's my boy. That's my fucking boy right there. Yeah, he's just kind of thrown Queen to the ground on his back. "Get him, Chopper Amon!" And then the Beast Pirates all chime in. "Serves you right, Queen, you backstabber." One of them kind of rubs his head. "Ow!" And Chopper kind of is like he's sort of running out of breath. And Queen, like upside down, laughs. "Wahahaha! A guy who's winning wouldn't be panting like that, raccoon dog." I think it's very important to note though that everyone else kind of apologized for calling Chopper a raccoon dog. But Queen is like deliberately repeating that phrase. Almost like Chopper is sort of, revealed a term he's not comfortable being called by. And so Queen now has the opportunity to explicitly use that. But anyway, we also see Perospero, who's readying an attack on Chopper, maybe? Because the panels on both sides of Perospero are Chopper panels. Either way, Perospero readies his, like, spade, spear-looking things. "Kuh-kuh-kuh. Let's see how long you hold out, Perorine." And Chopper has not noticed him, seemingly. "Damn it. Nothing seems to hurt Queen. I'm finally able to extend my monster time, and already I have less than 10 minutes left." And we flash back to someone laughing. "Shoo-ho-ho. That's pointless." Oh, and it's Caesar Clown. It's been a long time since I've seen Caesar Clown. "Just 3 minutes? What can you do with that?" And Chopper kind of continues, "But if I'm in monster form any longer than that, then what? Are you so precious about your looks? And you call yourself a pirate?" And Chopper kind of snaps at him. "What? Rumble balls, look at that sloppy work. Get this list of chemicals, and you can stretch that gigantification time to 30 minutes. Sure, there are risks, but you're not a coward, are you?" Okay, let me try to, like, scrunch up how Caesar felt towards the Straw Hats at the end. And also, we don't know when this is. It's seemingly pre-Whole Cake, because he left at Whole Cake, right? So it's at sea, so it's either between Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, or between Dressrosa and maybe Zoe. No, because he left with Sanji, right? He was never so it must have been between Zoe and Whole Cake, right? Or maybe after they left Dressrosa, maybe because they left on the Sunny, right? I think that's right. It's been a long time since I read those arcs. My point is, can we trust Caesar here in this flashback? When in the story is this flashback to give us an idea of, can we really trust him? If this is like pre-Dressrosa, definitely not. But maybe if it's like on the way to Whole Cake or something, maybe he's somewhat trustworthy. Um, like was Chopper in the Whole Cake group, or was he in the Dressrosa group? I feel like he was in the Whole Cake group. Um, but I also wouldn't switch. I know Nami, Sanji, of course, and Brook were, and I think Chopper rounds that out, right? It's been a long time. I'm focusing on a really minor thing, which is kind of what I do on this channel. If you haven't noticed yet. Anyway, my point is are the risks more like definite negative side effects? And Chopper and Caesar was just kind of like leading Chopper on there. I don't know. Either way, finally back to the action. Sorry for that super long tangent as I tried to set the entire past 300 chapters of One Piece straight in my head. Anyway, Queen readies a like laser beam attack. Black coffee beam. Chopper dodges it, though some random beast pirate I think does not dodge it, and he gets full hit. And Paris Barrow shoots his arrows up to the ceiling, and some random like troops shout, "No! Here comes that candy arrow rain again! Take shelter under a roof!" So yeah, Paris Barrow has apparently just kind of been in there shooting at people, just to be a general menace, I guess. And then Bao Huang jumps onto the banister, looking over the performance floor. And she reads out to the Marys, diffusion mode. And we see a cat, what looks like a man maybe, and like a lizard, who all kind of acknowledge. Announcement to all of Onigashima: the fight is over. The highest bounty on the enemy side, Straw Hat Luffy, has lost. Oh, that's gonna be bad for morale. And tellingly, right at that moment, Queen gets a bite out of Chopper. And everyone reacts, Luffy Taro? What? Luffy? No! And Marco listens, Straw Hat. And Frankie, seemingly distracted from his fight with Sasaki, just angrily, who are you kidding? Master Kaido snuffed out his life. Now Straw Hat Luffy, and we cut to Jinbei versus Who's Who, which is apparently just going. We've not seen any of it whatsoever. But Who's Who laughs, haha, good news. And now Straw Hat Luffy sinks to the bottom of the dark, cold sea. The Kozuki samurai and the pirate captain have both fallen. And Hyo and one of the other Yakuza guys reacts, Kinemon too? Who will be next? Can anyone else win? And Kaido is now turned into his full dragon form. Master Kaido will now descend and begin to clean up the stragglers. Kaido looks at the dome. Look at this mess you've made, Lin Lin. But heed closely, for Master Kaido will allow you to surrender. And we see Law, who is not happy to hear this news. No idea where Law is, though, by the way. He kind of, as you'll recall, last time he sort of ran off, leaving Zoro with Sanji. And we didn't see where he went to. And here, we don't see anything of Law besides himself. There's no background there. It's just close up on Law. Like that's being kept hidden for something. Anyway, we also see Big Mom and Kid. Big Mom laughs, Ma. Didn't you hear that? But Kid just brushes it off. Like I care what happens to that idiot. Tama cries, Wah, big bro Luffy! As Nami and Usopp are not exactly happy to hear the news. As Bao Huang continues, only those who raise their arms in surrender and compliance will be spared their lives and allowed to serve as our followers. And Robin and Brook listen in, no telling how their fight is going, by the way. I was promised that fight like 10 chapters ago, Oda. Give me that shit. But Sanji and Zoro, in unison, which I'm sure will be good for all you Zosan shippers out there, just shout, screw that! And then we cut to the passage to the first floor crawl space. As we listen to Bao Huang continue, surrender, Wano. And Kanjuro approaches, seemingly knowing that's where Momonosuke is. You have lost this battle. The outcome is clear, and in the crawl space is coming from the frog, meaning that Shinobu and Momo know where they are. Lord Momo... Oh, hold on. Wait a second, what's going on there? Oh, okay. So, for some reason, Oda has decided to have Kinemon and Kiku's arrival just not really be shown. All of a sudden, they're in the crawl space. I guess we just kind of skipped that part. I mean, I've complained a lot over the past year or so about Onigashima skipping seemingly important things, but this is just kind of ridiculous. Like, show them arriving. That's just bare. Like, give us those connecting tendons. Anyway, they've arrived. They see Momonosuke, so kind of passed out. From the voice of all things going on in his head. They call Lord Momonosuke. And Shinobu sees the frog now. That's one of the Marys. If that's here, then this is bad. Right, Master Kin? Lord Momonosuke? But they're not really paying attention. As Kinemon tends to Momonosuke, what is the matter, my lord? And Momonosuke barely gets out. Kinemon, we must tell everyone. Momonosuke has something to say. And he needs to get it out already before, Kanjuro walks into the room. But Shinobu is still more focused on the more imminent threat. There's a frog over there. And there is a Kanjuro-created Odin. Hey, Momonosuke! I'm so glad to see you again! And Shinobu, who has not sort of seen all of this happen the last time, takes it at much closer to face value than Ken and Kiku. Huh? It can't be! Lord Odin? And Odin reacts, and you too, Shinobu. It's good to see you. And Kiku just growls at it. Not again. Momonosuke lights up. Father? And Kiku stops him. It's not him. And Kinemon, covers Momonosuke's eyes. You must not watch. Father? Get back, Shinobu. It's an imposter. Huh? And Kiku approaches Odin. Not once, but twice. You show us these mocking lies. And Odin responds, what do you mean, Kiku? Why are you so angry? It's me! After what you did to Ashura. And so, is Ashura dead, first of all? We still don't really know. Ashura is seemingly kind of dead. And we'll see if he's still around. The important thing is, Kiku thinks he's dead. As she flashes back to Ashura's line, I don't blame you for going soft. He was our friend. And Odin kind of panics. Stop, Kiku! What are you doing? And Kiku snaps. Don't use his body to call this one's name, Kanjuro. And there's this thing going on, though, that Odin is really holding on to being called Odin. I recall the last Odin sort of giving up the goose a lot earlier. And I feel like it's a trick that, if he just holds on long enough, eventually Kiku will fall for it, or will falter for a second. So Kiku better not fall for it. Is this some kind of joke, Kiku? I'm the man who took you and Izo in! And we flash back to Odin talking to them way back when, in the Odin flashback. You don't have parents? And Kiku tears up and freezes and is stabbed through by Odin. Could you really cut me down? My girl deserves better. She just deserves better. And Shinobu and Kinemon just look on in shock. And Kiku just thinks, I cannot. Master Kin, this one cannot do it. And Kanjuro lets the drawing fade, revealing himself. It's only fair. The wound you already gave me will prove fatal, Kiku. Right, Kanjuro is dying. I forgot about that. He's not going to survive this. Supposedly. This is One Piece. People survive worse. But anyway, they're both, Kanjuro then, breathes super heavy. And Kiku falls. And Kinemon calls, Kanjuro! I think it's Shinobu's line, Kiku! And Momonosuke is in a panic now. Kanjuro! And And Kinemon there's so many K names here, I'm tripping over them every single time. But Kinemon grabs Kiku, who, blood coming out of her mouth. She's not looking good, and she deserves better than dying here, Oda. But Kiku says, Master Kin, Kiku, this one has failed. But if the fallen snow is melting, then surely the hour of dawn is close at hand. But Kinemon stops her. Don't talk nonsense. No, I'm sure the light of Wano's dawn will shine all the way down to the underworld. Okay, she's talking like she's about to go to the underworld. Kiku, you deserve better. Kin. And Kanjuro grins. Isn't that right? But just then, in like a single strike, Kinemon slashes Kanjuro through with a roar. Kanjuro! And Kanjuro coughs up blood. And falls. But as he's falling, he laughs. Ka! That's it. If anyone should close the curtains on my act. And we flash back to their intro in the Oden flashback. We're taking in this freak, Oden? And then with them laughing together later. Wahahaha. If anyone should close the curtains on my act, it ought to be you. After all, on stage, we were always best of friends. And Kanjuro falls. I think that is the end for him. Though, if Kiku is fully dead, that remains to be seen. I sure fucking hope not. She deserves much, much better than dying. But after that, I think this is Kaido come to find Momo. Because there's this kaboom in the room. And Momo panics, huh? And yep, there he is. Kaido! And Kinemon calls, Shinobu, take Lord Momonosuke and flee. Okay. And as they run, Kaido kind of readies his club, and swings it down right on to, or Kinemon grabs it with his swords and barely holds him off, I think, or he just doesn't, and the thing hits him in the head. And Momo, tears in his eyes as Shinobu carries him away, calls, Kinemon! And in the background, Onigashima reaches the Wano mainland. Next chapter hits June 6th. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Let's talk about the not main parts of the chapter first. I already went into a good bit of detail about the You Couldn't Be Joy Boy either bit. And I don't know if there's much else to say, given that I don't think we know a lot about him. Going through his wiki article is very, very short, so I don't think there's anything I'm missing. He's just sort of an important figure in the Void Century. And he wrote the Poneglyphs, of course, and he left One Piece. Sure. But we don't have any details about Joy Boy, right? That whole tangent is more for me than for y'all, because I'm not great with all the myriad parts of One Piece lore. I acknowledge that. So yeah, the implication I get from there is that Kaido knows a lot more about the Void Century than anyone else we've seen, given that he knows what it means to be Joy Boy, and he knows that someone else, my guess is Roger, was also on the same track as Joy Boy and Luffy, especially because there's a lot of obvious parallels between Roger and Luffy. There's parallels between Joy Boy and Luffy. It makes sense there would be parallels between Joy Boy and Roger. Right. But we just don't have any idea what that means. So yeah. Let's put that aside, though, because the rest of the chapter still happens. Yamato is making his way, beating up bad guys. Chopper is at his absolute best. I also did not notice, looking at page 5 again, with Chopper suplexing Queen, right? You can literally see, I think those are Parasparrow's arrows just sticking into Chopper's backside. So Chopper is taking damage and he's still going. Like that's just some good fucking shit. I went into way too much detail discussing the dangers of Chopper's power up coming from Caesar. So we'll see how that comes about. If what lasting consequences there are. And then Bao Huang makes her announcement. Luffy is dead. Surrender and you will live. And of course, no one says yes to that. And Luffy will somehow make it out alive. I'm not quite sure. Oh, hold on. Oh, I didn't notice this bit at the top of page 9. Luffy is underwater. I did not notice that. Like, we see the air bubbles coming out of his mouth. He is underwater. I mean, obviously he lives. He's Luffy. But I don't know how they're gonna save him. I mean, I imagine Jinbei, if he weren't busy on Onigashima and mid-fights, would be their best bet. But I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna save Luffy. I really got nothing. But then we get to the real crux of the chapter, and that is Kanjuro. There are too many fucking K's in this part. Kanjuro's final act, as he severely wounds Kiku. If this were not One Piece, I'd say kills Kiku. But there is a chance she might still be alive. Hopefully, just mortally wounded, or severely wounded. And then I think though Kanjuro is dead after this chapter. Again, this is One Piece. He can still somehow like cling on to life. But his whole dying monologue here, if anyone should close the curtains on my act, it ought to be you. That feels like a death monologue. And so yeah, I'm not gonna mourn him. Fuck him. Fuck Kanjuro. But he was a really great character. And I do wish we got to see a little bit more of him post-betrayal. Like, he did a little bit post-betrayal, and then he was cut down off-screen, but not fully cut down. And he kind of slunk around in the background for 30 chapters, and then he got cut down again here. He did kill, he seemingly killed, or at least took out of the fight, Ashura and Kiku. So his impact is huge. Then yeah, that leads us to this chapter's big cliffhanger, with Kinemon trying to hold off Kaido, another fucking K name, and maybe not surviving. I don't know. That's the one I'm like, out of Kinemon, Kanjuro, and Kiku, Kinemon is the one I'm most confident survived this chapter. Kanjuro is definitely dead. Kiku might be dead. Kinemon is probably alive. But yeah. And now Onigashima's on the mainland. We're moving into the climax. I don't know what that's going to look like, because there's still a whole hell of a lot to do. But I do feel like we're moving somewhat into maybe vaguely Wano's endgame. Very vaguely. And yeah, only no hiatus this time, only 1 week till 10/15. And yeah, the chapter was great. There's just so much going on here. And I just can't wait for more. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes it happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!